right, welcome on back. Sorry, I did a kind of lengthy one, the last one. I wanted to continue because I wasn't quite done with those thoughts, but um, that and I have a little bit of time before my kiddos get here for the day. But basically, we were talking about the war on drugs, the casualties of the war on drugs, because it is a war. It might not manifest itself in similar ways, like, there isn't a bunch of gunfighting and explosions and bombs and all that, but there is a lot of death, a lot of suffering, a lot of pain. Like, anyone who's ever experienced addiction knows that it's not just some simple little thing. Like, you can't just quit. Like, it grips you by the short and curlies. Like, it takes you, leads you by the nose, and it rips you one way or the other. But one thing that a lot of people don't understand about addiction is most of it is not intentional. Most of it is accidental. And what I mean by that is, and actually the majority of it comes from OxyContin. And that's what this guy, Brian Hubbard, I think that's his name, Brian Hubbard. I don't have my phone, it's charging. Because I gotta get a new phone. Like, I tried to treat this one right. I broke it right before I started my current job on accident. I dropped it and the screen shattered. So this is actually a new phone, but even then, it's always the cheapest one we can get. Um, Actually, my mom's paying for it, which is ridiculous. Like, I intend on paying her back for everything, but as a victim in the war on drugs myself, in fact, my situation was just bogus. And like I mentioned last episode, I did send a message to the governor asking for a pardon. But I also, and I will say this out, I also offered to testify against the victim in my assault case because snitches get stitches and blah, 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 and all that. But this dude sexually assaulted several people and with substances. Like, and I can say that now. That's what got me into the fight. I yelled at him. I was like, well, not yelled, but we were starting to argue. And he came down and he was mad because I had people that he didn't know in his house when he had gotten two noise violations throwing parties in our house when I was gone out of town. And so when I got back and we got into that fight, that was strike three for me. It didn't matter that I wasn't present for the first two strikes. It was my roommate, so I was liable. And so he actually got us evicted. And so for stuff that I did not do, which I did talk to the manager later. Ooh, that looks cool. I'm gonna do this. Hold on, I'm not quite done. Not quite done. Let's get the dies. And this thing. I don't even know what that is. It's like one of the new flowers, but we'll get that. I still don't know if you can be higher level than 100. I want to say you can. I feel like I saw that, but looking at it now, I I haven't spent any experience on anything. Usually you spend experience when you buy like um when you enchant things and when you use the anvil. But I have not done any of those things. Anyway, sorry, back up to that. He's a piece of human garbage. And the thing is yes, I understand it happened a long time ago. He probably changed, but probably not. In fact, I did see his other Facebook, and he's like there drinking a beer in an inner tube, like partying it up. And like, he walked. He did 5 years probation for rape. That's not okay with me. It's not. And I can't hurt him again physically or even mentally. I have to leave him alone. And not because I want to. If it were up to me, I would beat the snot out of him. But I have to. And he's a big dude too. Like, it's not like this is some like sniveling little coward. This dude's 6'7", big bird like cool. Lifted weights, worked out. We worked out together on several occasions, but like, we played football back in high school against each other. He was on one of the opposing teams. Well, we actually didn't play against each other. It was just one of the football camps we did involved his football team. So we knew each other indirectly. But he's a piece of garbage. Like, he takes the shortcuts that nobody should take. He drugged people. And I stand by that. I don't have any definitive proof, except that he told me he did. Like, so. And as his roommate, like, he confided a lot of things, a lot of sketchy things. And it's like, of course, the other things, like if it had to deal with like helping people enjoy a party or self-medicate or try to find some relief from the woes in their life, okay. But he never did it for that. It was always to make money, to get him laid, like he had to win. Something had to benefit him for him to be involved in anything. And it was just ridiculous. And like, whereas I did everything to benefit the people around me, the community, I worried about people's happiness and sanity, much like this Brian guy. And he's a big advocate, and not just like he's way more of a effective advocate than I am. He was a lawyer throughout. Like I watched this short speech that he did in front of some kind of legal body about ibogaine and Texas legalizing stuff, specifically for vets, but also I loved how he said it. He said the READ. I forget what it stood for, but it was REID, and it was like it's people in need. And that's why he used a scalable term to broadly apply to a whole demographic of people that would benefit from using ibogaine and other natural psychedelics. Like, I don't even know what ibogaine is. Like, I'm not familiar with it. I know magic mushrooms or psilocybin help. I've seen several studies about that, unanimous studies. Like, there is at least some improvement in their happiness and their life. Everyone who's taken them, like, they make you happy. You can't help it. But more than that, they also unlock a deeper understanding of yourself. Like, you really get to like do a self inventory on psychedelics and just be like, what am I doing with my life? What direction am I heading? And do I like that direction, or do I want to change it? You know, and it just gives you this time to pause, and it like gives your brain a pause button. And it's like, okay, here's what you need to do. And I swear, like, I feel like you do talk to the creator, honestly. Like, I was actually having this discussion with my buddy the other day. We were just texting back and forth, and like, because we've both done tons of psychedelics, and like, in fact, it was funny. This one gal, she put on her Facebook page, she's like, I'm hanging out with so and so, and he brought his friend so and so, and I guess he's on mushrooms. Like, and we were out at the bars, and like, I think that was when I was still on supervision, so I couldn't actually do anything that would show up on a drug test. But thank goodness, psychedelics don't. And so it's like, so I could have, but I don't think I was that night. Honestly, I think I was. That was when I was just drinking and I was off probation and all that, so I was allowed to. But anyways, I was trying to just go out and have a good time with this lady friend, and she was another one that's gonna get a house up there. Stephanie, she passed away from hardships incurred from the war on drugs and opiates too. But I mean, and that's what this guy Brian was talking about, is like the opiate companies, Walmart, and all the distributors, and like everybody, like, you know, everybody involved in all that. Like, because Walmart had a pharmacy and they were distributing drugs, and like, and people were coming to get them and all this, and it was an addicting drug, like worse than anything else. And then same with meth too. It's like meth and heroin, or meth and opiates are the two taboos for the substance world. You don't ever do them. And I would even include crack in there too, but honestly, not that big of a deal. You try it, you see what it's about. I mean, you probably have a really weird and awkward time because it's super addictive too, but not nearly as bad as like meth or heroin. Oh, can't swim. He's stuck. He's landlocked. Or she. So, but anyways, if you just stay away from those, but that's the problem. That's why I said earlier it's accidental, because people that are trying to make money off of it, the ones that are should be in trouble, the ones doing it for a profit. And actually, I say that very loosely. Like, they should just have a license to sell, is what I mean by that. Like, I have less sympathy for somebody who's out to sell drugs to make a profit than I do for somebody who's just trying to heal their head, like myself. I mean, I was dealing with some pretty serious PTSD. I was one of the last people to talk to my dad before he popped himself in the head. So, and I think I actually caused it because I divulged some information that made him extra sad and just pushed him over the limit. So, yeah, it's kind of a little bit to deal with. So I had some struggles. And then the easiest thing to find was alcohol. And then the next easiest thing to find was black market drugs that could have been laced with hard drugs. And you would never know. Like, well, you would know. You'd be like, okay, I feel a little weird after that one. Or that wasn't just this. Like, this ridiculous stuff. Although that does remind me of time was when I spiked my friend's drink, but I did it in such an obvious way. Like, I didn't want to like disrespect him and sneak it on him, but I threw some mushrooms in his drink and I was like, "Enjoy your drink." And he looks down and there's just mushrooms floating in it. And it's just like, and of course I gave him some dry ones. Like, you can choose whatever you want. I even brought out, and this is what I do. That was like basically my first wife. We lived together and we had cats, and which my landlord hated because we weren't supposed to have cats, but. but I also worked for the complex, so and this was the same one that I got kicked out of, like for the rapist stupid things. And I will drop his name eventually. I got to be careful because I don't want to dox him and have somebody else go beat the crud out of him. I mean, I do, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to be liable for that. So, it's not my place. I already did my piece. Or no, I didn't. Sorry, yeah. So I reached out to the governor and I offered to do that. Snitches get stitches except for sex offenders. And that's one thing you learn if you ever do get incarcerated is sex offenders are the worst kind of shortcut takers and they get no respect. And I'm okay with that. Like there is no respect in what they did. Like there is no honor in that. There is just weakness and impatience. Like, and I say that not because I think that, especially against a minor too. I was reading more about what South Park Mexican did, and I loved South Park Mexican. His music was very entertaining. He was gangster. Like he talked about the drug trade and like those are my colleagues and everything. Like growing up, like those are the people. And that's why on one of the other, I think it was actually the Blokes and Krauts when I was doing some Call of Duty, but I was talking about the cartel was actually my colleagues for a while there. Like they were helping to funnel substances into this country. They still are. And of course they're doing it for profit, for money, but they wouldn't need to if their people didn't keep getting put in prison for years, even decades for what their business does. Like that's the other thing people don't realize is like, all the violence and hatred stems from a place of understanding. Like, if you put someone's cousin in prison for 10 years, their family's going to be upset. And whoever put them in prison is probably going to get attacked, maybe even killed. Like, whoever snitched them out, directly related. And I do have one shortcut like that that I need to take care of. And I plan on taking care of that very soon. So, anyways. uh, yeah, and I need to talk to that guy too. Sorry, I was just thinking about. Actually, you know what? I might stick my nose into business. So this one guy was asking for somebody to loan him money. This other guy ripped me off for about $300. I could just be like, hey, and they know each other. I could be like, hey, you now owe your debt to me to this guy. Please pay it soon. It's not a big county and you're not that big of a guy. That's what I'd include in the message, but I am a pacifist. Or not pacifist, I'm a Jedi, basically. I believe in the Jedi ways. Be very deadly, very lethal, very powerful, but never attack, always defend. And that's been me. I've never attacked people. And even, like, I've intimidated, yeah. Like, but actually hurt people? Nah. Even if they owed me, I mean, that one guy, that wasn't that bad. I got ripped off for $800 another time, $3,000 one time, $5,000 another time. Like, it's pennies what this dude did. But the way he did it, and he was addicted. He was addicted to meth, and that's why he did it. He stole that from me, like, to my face, too. And he was just like, you're supposed to pay for it. And then he's like, you're beat. And I'm like, I'm what? I was like, no, where's the money? And he gets out of the car and like, no, where's the money? And I get out to follow him. And there's this big black dude that's like, or not big, I mean, he was probably the same size, but two people. And he's looking at me. And the guy like ran to this guy's side. So now it was 2-on-1. And I was like, I guess I'm beat. So, but that's only for now. He put a Band-Aid on a temporary solution on his addiction. And now I saw him going to church and he's talking to these other guys that I know, and they're trying to better their lives and stuff. But it's going to be at the back of his mind for the rest of his life because everybody, and I talked to a couple of people, I was like, yo, that bud you're buying was stolen. And they're like, oh, crud, really? And then one of them tried to it was a big mess. But anyways. And again, that would just be tax infringement nowadays because it was just weed, or doing business without a license because we were both legal adults. Like, so it's like, whatever. And yeah, so. But it's okay to snitch. And actually, that's part of the make it right. So I want to, in fact, you know what? I'm going to do it. Communal. I got to start getting back on that wagon again. That's my side project. In order to do that, I need to become a semi-famous streamer. I don't have to become too famous. But it would be nice to get some other people involved and see what's out there too. I need to network with other like-minded people, other Jedi, and come together and be a community. which people already are. I'm missing the bandwagon here on a couple of those networking things, just because even as somebody who works in IT and I know tech pretty well, um, I struggle, and I'm ADD AF. Like I am a very spazzy person, very shattered focus, but I love it. I'm able to keep my head on a swivel and shatter my focus, splinter it into multiple things simultaneously at all times. Now, granted, multitasking is a myth, and you never are able to do two things as good as you're able to do one at one time. You can't do two as efficient. You could still do two at the same time, but your attention is not 100%. If you think about it in percentages and like, oh wait, I need another cart. In fact, I need a few train cars, so let's go ahead and stock up on that. Let's bring a bunch of iron and carts over this way. So, because I also need another cart over there. That place is really coming along. So, but anyways, it's time. And the dude also, I think, tried to attack my ex-girlfriend, my first wife. Like, I really think he did, because when I was in jail, he put out a picture on Facebook of him behind her at one of her parties. And who, yeah. So I might actually still beat the snot out of him one more time before we die. I might. And, he fled. He ran to Utah. He's a little coward. So, and also because I was telling, all the gangsters, hey, this dude raped people. Here's his picture. And like, and that's a big no-no. Anybody who's in a gang knows that a sex offender is trash. Anybody. And I would do that for the hood, for my people, for my community. My hood is a trailer park up in the mountains. Actually, no, my family was wealthier than that. I shouldn't say that. I was not in a trailer until I was an adult. Well, quote unquote adult. That's doing a lot of heavy lifting, actually. A young adult, I think, is more appropriate. So, anyways, ooh. But yeah. But that's why it sucks so much, because this one project I was working with my work kind of fell through, at least for now. I don't know where it's at. Like, it's been stalled. It was a huge volunteer project, philanthropy with a huge tech company. And I still want to work with them in the future, but I think I might not be able to for the near future. And it sucks, but I'll move on. I need to survive to fight another day because I need to keep this job, first of all. Second of all, I don't want to betray the trust and respect of my employers and really the general academic community as a whole, because I do work for higher education. Like, it is a, oh, okay. I was like, where did my torches just go? I don't see them in the furnace. So, oh, trying to cook nether bricks. What? Silly. That's what you get from cooking nether rack. And then you get nether bricks with these. Whoops, these. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's move all this stuff to. Because I also want to make a red tower, like a red kingdom. A red palace. There you go. Because kingdom implies that there's a king. Women can be kings. That's why, like, my little group used to be the kings, but honestly, women can be kings too. I'm totally fine with that. In fact, I insist. Mm. Mm. That's the cool thing about the tiki taki. So I'm gonna get some gangbangers in on it. Ugh, it's gonna be fun. In fact, I met some of my people. Redman, like he used to be either affiliated directly or indirectly with the Bloods. And, like Red, like he is Red, like he's the Red Man. Like, and same with the Wu-Tang Clan. They were the East Coast gangsters. Like, but if you listen to their lyrics, they were always just about keeping their community safe, happy, medicated, like smoking that herb, like ignoring the war on drugs and its bogus nonsense. Like, that's what it was. And the DJ and the hip hop and the mic and all the fun stuff. Like, it was never about, let's go ahead and take some of this glass. Da, da, da. Actually, no, let's leave some of this glass because I don't want to take all of it. I guess I only needed one more sand. Okay, that was kind of a waste. Oh, wait, no, one, I think I put, where is it? Yeah, that one only had 10. There we go. Okay. Not a big deal. I mean, as you saw, we came into it being partially done. Well, let's keep the sand there, I guess. Okay. So let's take that. We need some iron. We need some mine carts. I need to keep an eye on the time. Where are we at this one? Already 20 minutes. I could talk for hours. I need to start streaming. But I hate talking back and forth. That's the thing. Is like, I mean, I don't hate it, but it's like you get in there, you start thinking you're going to stream and doing one thing, and then all of a sudden people come in, and it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but then it's like, now you're doing this thing. It's like, okay, well, I wasn't expecting to do that, but all right, we can do that. And so and that's just more me needing to be more assertive. Like, and then I caught a little surprised that some of the people watching are like 13. Hmm. I did not anticipate that because I was trying to recruit people to work for the nonprofit communal. You can't be doing that if you're a minor. Like it deals with cannabis and mushrooms. Like it's not for, and I'm okay with that. Like people, prohibitionists, they've been arguing like, oh, like it's a danger to the kids. I don't support kids getting into it, but at the same time, I don't support kids getting into alcohol even more, and that's more dangerous in my mind. Oh, you know what? I just realized how you get them in there. Wait, how's my lava lounge coming? Yeah, this is how you get them in there. You just lure them with hay bales. That's how they. See, they come a running. Oh, actually, let's put the dyes somewhere. And the flour. Okay. But anyways, yeah, so that's my big revelation. I think I hinted at it before. And every last person that I've ever associated with, I'm sure would be totally comfortable with this. Okay, you know what? Ah, all right, you know what? I guess not. Haven't figured that out yet. All right, come back, llamas. Come back, llamas. A tamed llama? All right, whatever. Two tamed llamas. There. All right, so the llama lounge is not ready yet. Shocker. Okay. Let's take the stuff back. I gotta remember to jump off halfway and leave these rail cars. Actually, as I say that, I'm probably gonna need to break the rail car so it doesn't run away from me. Or I guess I could do it a couple ways. Huh, there's a rail car up there. But also I need to go AFK here so I can gather more snow on the roof of this. Whee! It's starting to accumulate. Yeah, I'll just have to hoof it. Or what I can do is I can actually... If I do that... Oh, okay, never mind. Perfect. A lot of times I'll hit the rail. Ah, that's cool. You can barely see Jeff's house down there, but now that I have some glass... And actually what I need to do... What I should do... Oops. No, 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 no. Stop. Oh, that's... What? Oh, okay. Never mind. Oh, and there are rail cars here. Okay, good. Well, now we need a rail car here. Uh-oh, this is dangerous. I think this just pops off the edge of the... I might lose this minecart. Nope. I saw that it didn't go all the way to the end. Alright. Oh, this is such a cool place. Like, you got such a view. Random pumpkin patch up there. Oh, that almost looks like... Oh! I could build a gate! Oh, okay. That's the next thing. That's the next project. We're gonna build a giant gate, kind of like in Lord of the Rings, in the Elven Kingdom. Okay. For now, I'm gonna drop off all these supplies for one day when I'm just kind of putzing around here. Actually, let's take the dirt back, because I want to go ahead and start extending this. Although, how far, though? How far should this initial one be? Because I'm running out of room here. I mean, like, if I have Jeff... And I don't know. Those were rather large houses to have a couple in a row, but, I mean... There's Jeff... Adam... Other Adam, one I worked with in production. Um... Stephanie, Kayla, Sean, Josh. Jeez, there's a lot of them. Max. Yeah, just mental health for the twins. They were both mental health, and alcohol. So, anyways, we will build a memorial for all of them. Actually, I'm going to just leave the dirt here. Do need emeralds. Let's go get emeralds and snow. See how the snow is doing. I love that. There's just giant, like, railways and walkways. And the physics of Minecraft. Not having to have any support beams. You could just build blocks wherever, have things floating. Like, that roof would definitely not be supported. But, well, maybe not definitely. I don't know. Like, if all that was solid marble, which it kind of looks like. I haven't even finished the pillars. Okay. Let's see about the snow. Oh, that's another thing, though. I need to continue to... Yeah, it's alright. No, it's pretty bad, actually. So the snow accumulates to where you would get, like, multiple snowballs from digging it up. This is the very low one. It's only just started to accumulate. See, it's like 1, 2... That one's starting to be 3. I think you can get them 4 high. Now this might be a little better. So, and I think I'm actually just going to AFK here. Because each one of these stacks, I think it's 4 snowballs for 1 block of snow. And we have an empty inventory, so we can go ahead and load up. So now I need to try to talk to a few local nonprofits to see about, like, working with them and really find where the hippies are. Where are the nonprofits for substances, like for cannabis and mushrooms? That's what I need to find. And then I need to see what they're already doing, so I'm not reinventing the wheel. And then I need to see how I can help, maybe volunteer some time, effort, resources, networks, like whatever. And I finally found my one hippy dippy friend. He's very hard to reach, but he is like he's like the Yoda. And rightfully so, because of the war on drugs has made some people have to go in hiding, so it sucks. But we're fixing it. We are fixing it. We will make it to where everybody can live comfortably despite... I mean, within reason. Like, if you make a mistake, then that's one thing. But substance use and substance abuse is not a mistake worthy of jail or prison. Like, it just isn't. And that's what we're starting to realize. Is like, oh, we were just putting people in jail and putting them through a hard time for, for silly little things. Where it's like, although still, it drives me crazy about the Democrats, like a bunch of cowards. Simple possession. No, it's all okay. It should all be okay. If you can go and make a distillery and you can go make a brewery, you can brew your own beer at home and be perfectly fine and have unregulated alcohol of like such high content that it'll just get somebody really, really smashed, like possibly even dangerously so. Like I saw there was like a liquor recall, and that was the other thing that Kevin Sabe was trying to make it infer that cannabis was recalled because of safety or health reasons. No, it was quarantined because they thought some of it might have been produced in a state where it wasn't legal. Oh my gosh, really? Like that's what you're gonna split hairs about? Like I get it, it's like a tax infringement or like something like that, or if it's not illegal in that state, okay, then it's still illegal there. But it's the same chemical. It doesn't change. It's not like a deer that changes into an elk at a certain elevation, which is a joke that we would trick tourists with, like as locals up in the mountains, we'd say, "Oh yeah, at about 11,000 feet, the deer turn into elk." And they just, some people would believe us and be like, wait, really? And then if you were like trying to be mean to them, you just wouldn't correct it. But most of the time, I remember whenever I did, I'd be like, nah, just kidding. Like they are different animals. But it is a funny thing to think about. And then there's me inviting them into my culture of the mountain people. So, and I was a representative of the mountain people. Worked at a ski resort, skied, snowboarded a ton. Was skiing since I was like 5, shooting guns since I was like 5 too. So, oh, not anymore. Like, and that's why I wanted to get the part. Not that, but like, just have my freedoms back. I mean, I live in the city still, so I don't really want a lot of guns, but it would be nice to be able to be in a car with a gun and not have to worry about catching another felony. Like, it's just garbage. Like, oh, what were you doing with that gun? Well, it's my buddy's gun. Like, okay, well, you shouldn't be in the car with it. So what, I can't hang out with my buddy now, or he has to, he didn't get in trouble. And that's one of the biggest things that drives me crazy. I know a guy that went back to prison because he was in a car with a gun and they got pulled over for something unrelated, but like just because he had a gun, it was like, oh. And he was like a big time like shot caller in the Hammers, which I didn't realize were Nazis too, but whatever. I mean, there's a little hate and a little love for every demographic in the prison world, so like it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I'd like to see it to where we all unite under one banner of just peace, which I think is coming, but again, communal. It's like a stone soup situation. All I need is the funding for it. I already have like 2 or 3 people that would be the face of it. Um, and so yeah. And yeah, and there are people out there with the money. It's the liability. Like you can't be seen doing certain things. You just gotta be careful. Actually, this is quite a good haul. I should have. And I'm still gonna AFK after this episode and go do some things. Actually, my kids will be here in about an hour, so I need to start getting ready. I was gonna try to run to the store real quick, but I'll just take them with me, so it's okay. Anyways, sorry, and I was just thinking again about that project. I'm really bothered by it, but not like angry. Like I did take the next couple of days off, so I do have a long, and I hope that my leadership knows that like I'm not angry about it, but at the same time, it's like I am disappointed, and that's almost worse because it's like we got to work out a few things, and I understand. Like I still agree with like their decision, but at the same time, it's like I don't like it, but I think it can be salvaged. And even if not communal, there's a nonprofit here in northern Colorado that I want to look into, La Familia. They help Spanish-speaking families, and I've been trying to get. In fact, that's going on today. Uh, and, and that is like I used to be part of. the ACM, the Association for Computing Machinery. I want to get back into that. And I think that you just have to donate. Like, and I don't have money yet, but I will. I mean, I do have money, but right now I'm trying to spend it on my kids and getting my stuff fixed. I mean, I did get a new used car, so like I got to pay for that. Ridiculous to insure, and that's the other thing. Yeah, you know what? I need to. I need to click up. I need to get my followers back. I need to unite people under the banner of peace and Jedi. Like, it has to happen. So it's decided. I'm going to start Twitch streaming again. But I need to write myself a little note why I know, so I don't lose track of what's important. Not that like I'm going to become super famous and arrogant and all this, but that's the thing. It's like a lot of these famous people with a lot of money, they could be doing so much, and we don't hear about it. And part of that is like we shot ourselves in the foot by saying, you know, you shouldn't be prideful, you shouldn't boast about your charitable deeds, but maybe you should. Maybe you should. And actually, that's okay. It's done. It's done. I'm gonna make a thing. I need to figure out what platform to build it on, but a tutorial on being a Jedi. Like, you got to think to yourself, how bad can this get? Who's affected? Who's involved? What are the potential outcomes? And I do that with everything. Like, I've been a project manager way before I started doing it professionally. Like, I used to make it to where big projects were able to happen involving thousands of dollars. Like, and yeah. Again, projects that today would be totally fine. You just might need a license. Like, that's it. Stupid. Oh, I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it should have been this way the whole time. And that was what we kept talking about and thinking, like the whole time, me and my knucklehead friends, and we were shamed and guilty and like feeling guilty and all this for stuff that now is totally fine as long as you cross your T's and dot your I's. And I get it. Like, it's the same with firearms, like alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, the ATF. They have to regulate that stuff because those are three very dangerous things, like potentially. They are the three most deadly and dangerous things in this country, hands down. I mean, obviously, firearms, but seriously, alcohol and tobacco, millions of deaths every year worldwide. Cannabis, zero. At least from use. I mean, and that's even not completely accurate. I have seen that a few people died from choking on vomit, which is indirectly caused by. Also, wait, I have a ton of snow now. Which one's the snow box? I know there's one. I think. Yeah. I mean, oh, that's awesome. All right, let's get everything else out of here that isn't snow. And do we have another box? I think the rest is all dye, right? Well, still. Put all of it here. This will be our flotsam. Oh, that's snow, actually. Okay. Oh, I love that. The Joker Tower is cool, but I love the Nether Tower. I think that's even cooler. I should put lava columns on that one too. Alright, well anyways, wait, that's over. Yeah, I did it again. I almost got a 40-minute episode. Apologies. I'll get my phone. But ta-ta for now. I'll see you in the next one. Be kind, be peaceful, be Jedi. Oh, I'll do that. I'll write in giant letters in the sky, be Jedi. Just like a word from God. I'm just kidding. The creator, the spaghetti monster, whoever, whatever it is. Or the Big Bang. That could be too. Apologies and no disrespect to the creator. And in this world, I'm the creator. But I was created by a creator. So, creatorception. All right, ta-ta for now. I'll see you in the next one.